Since we have derivative rules that let us add, subtract functions, and also multiply functions by constants, this handful of rules allows us to now do a whole bunch more. So let's do some examples. So we could go ahead and let's look at 3x. Let's look at the derivative of 3x minus the natural log of x minus cosine of x. Let's just do that to start with. Well, we remember that we take the derivative term by term, so that's going to be the derivative of 3x minus the derivative of 1 over, spoilers, of natural log of x minus the derivative of cosine of x. That's just going to be 3 minus 1 over x minus negative sign, so that's just going to be plus sine of x. And that would be our answer. Probably the cosines and sines dealing with negative numbers are going to be the trickiest, so let's do one that's going to just work with that. So let's do, how about 2 to the x minus sine of x plus 4 cosine of x. We'll actually make this minus 3 sine of x plus 4 cosine of x. Again, we're going to take the derivative term by term. I'm not going to break it up like I did here. We'll just kind of do it one by one. So the derivative of the first term is going to be, we use our rule, it's going to be natural log of 2 times 2 to the x minus 3 times sine of x. So that's going to be a constant multiple rule. So there'll be a minus 3 out front. And the derivative of sine of x is cosine of x. So that's going to be minus 3. That's our constant multiple. Cosine of x. Plus 4. 4 is our constant that goes up front. And the derivative of cosine of x is going to be negative sine of x. So I'll briefly write this as 4 times negative sine of x. Don't write that without parentheses because then that's subtraction, which is not what we want. And just to clean this up a little bit, we'll do natural log of 2 to the x minus 3 cosine of x minus 4 sine of x. Let's do a couple more examples. Let's do some tricky constant multiple ones. We'll just start with 3e to the x. So what's the derivative of that? Well, 3 is our constant multiple. Derivative of e to the x is just e to the, I'll actually write this out. That's going to be 3 times the derivative of e to the x using that constant multiple rule. So that's just going to be 3e to the x. What about, let's say, just again, to make this a little bit more tricky, we'll do, how about 4 times 3 to the x minus 2 times 4 to the 3 plus natural log of 2. Okay, so let's take the derivative of this term by term. So this first term, I'll break it up just because this is a little bit more tricky. So we'll have 4 times 3 to the x is our first term. I'm going to put all of these together for a specific reason, plus the derivative of minus 2 times 4 to the 3 plus natural log of 2. And the reason I put those all together is that's a constant. So that's just going to be 0. So we can basically just ignore that. Let's use the constant multiple rule to pull out that 4. Notice I did not multiply the 4 and 3 together to give me 12. That is not how order of operations works, so you can't do that. So I pulled the 4 out because it is a constant multiple. That leaves us with 3 to the x inside, which means that our answer is going to be 4 times natural log of 3 times 3 to the x. So this gives you a few more rules in your toolbox to kind of handle a wider variety of functions.